We can rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Monday, April 1st, 2024 County City Council meeting. Madam Clerk, would you conduct a roll call, please?
Blinker.
Here.
Nargi. Here. Reynolds.
Here.
Weiss.
Present.
Brown.
Here.
Aldersmeyer.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
Downing.
Here.
Snyder. Quorum present.
Present. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. First item of business, I'd like to entertain a motion to suspend public meeting. Mr. Clinker.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. It's like we have several ordinances and a resolution here. Ordinance 2024-06. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance vacating a portion of an alley and a portion of Fulton Street within the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
Is there any public input and/or petitioners? A petitioner here.
Good evening. My name is John Schrader. I am here tonight as a member of the Board of Directors of the Boys and Girls Club of Lafayette, and I helped prepare and file this petition. My home address is 2101 Crestview Court, 47905. This petition seeks to vacate a portion of Fulton Street and an adjoining alleyway that is surrounded on almost every side by the property owned by the Boys and Girls Club, and the final property owner is a man named Otis Lloyd Noy, who has signed a consent approving of this petition that was filed along with it. The purpose of this petition is to turn the land to the Boys and Girls Club of Lafayette that will allow them to better have their recreational activities on their premises. This past month, that location had 61 average daily members in attendance. 85% of them were under the age of 13, so these are, largely children. And by having, in its current condition where there's roads with cars able to still pass through there, it does present a safety issue. So this petition for a vacation will alleviate the safety issue, give the Boys and Girls Club more space to let their members play in that area. And the cross-traffic can still pass through the surrounding roads on North 10th, 12th, and Ball Street, so it's not going to present an issue of traffic congestion. It's a very small piece of road that we're seeking to vacate. This is going to be good for the Boys and Girls Club of Lafayette and going to be good for the general health, safety, and welfare of the Lafayette community. If there's any other questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the council? Any comments or questions from the public? This is obviously a public hearing, so we will move on to ordinance 2024-09. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance vacating a portion of First Street in the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
Is the petitioner here and would like to address the council?
Save that for later.
No, I'm sorry. Thank you. Any comments or questions from the public? Any comments or questions from the public? Moving on to ordinance 2024-11.
An ordinance for an additional appropriation in the general fund, Fund Number 1010, Fire Department, Department 0101.
Any comments or questions from the public? Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, moving on to resolutions 2024-11.
A resolution declaring the designation of a certain real estate as an economic revitalization and approving the application for property tax abatement, Krager LLC, LH Industrial Supplies, real property.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the public? Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to reconvene our council.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Moving on to approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting.
Mr. Reynolds.
Move to hear and approve minutes from the March meeting.
Ms. Hession-Weist. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, moving on to presentation and disposal of claims.
There are none.
Moving on to presentation and petitions and communications.
There are none.
Reports of city offices on file, the city clerk's office.
Waterworks Department, monthly February. Renew Department, monthly February. Fleet Maintenance, monthly February.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that this information is available on our website consistently. It's pretty easy to navigate. If anyone is interested, please visit our website for those particular files. All right, moving on to ordinance for second reading. Ms. Hession-Weiss.
I'll go ahead and read it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Ordinance 2024-06.
An ordinance vacation a portion of an alley and a portion of Fulton Street within the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
I move for consideration of ordinance number 2024-06 on second reading and final.
Mr. Brown?
Second.
Motion and a second. All right. Petitioner. Do we want to hear this again, or do we need to?
And Mr. Schrader had already provided the information
very
during the
good.
public hearing, so this would be an opportunity for the council to ask any additional questions that you have.
Do we have any questions from the council?
I'm assuming that Mr. No didn't have any, I think it's his name, didn't have any
Yes.
further problems.
No, none that were communicated to us. Okay, thank you.
All right, very good. Any more comments or questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you conduct a roll call?
Clinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-08. Ms. Alsmeyer. Oh, Madam Clerk.
An
Sorry.
ordinance of the Common Council of the Lafayette, Indiana, approving the pledge of local income tax revenues to the payment and bonds of the City of Lafayette redevelopment district in accordance with a joint economic development agreement and approving other matters in connection therewith.
Now, Ms. Alsmeyer.
I move that we hear and approve ordinance 2024-08.
Second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Commissioner, Mr. Otten.
Thank you. Good evening, council. Dennis Otten with Bose McKinney and Evans. We're acting as bond counsel on this financing, and this is the last approval we have. This is for the Park East project that I know we've talked about. It's a joint effort with the county. We are through all the steps now. In fact, we got the bond rating late this afternoon on the bonds, and we are scheduled to close. We're on target to close with our schedule, I think, around April 18th. The ordinance before you tonight, which was introduced at the last council meeting, affirms the pledge of the city's local income tax revenues to the payment of the bonds, the city's portion of the bonds, the Series A bonds. The county is funding the other portion with Series B bonds. It has a companion ordinance it has approved. This also approves the form of the bond resolution that was adopted by the Redevelopment Commission at its meeting on March 28th. And then, just as a reminder, this pledge of lit, it's for marketing purposes only, and I think you've seen the numbers. The tax increment revenues here have an abundance of coverage, so we don't expect it to be invoked. But happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Otten. Any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, you conduct a roll call.
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-09.
An ordinance vacating a portion of First Street in the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
Ms. Williamson.
I move we hear and approve ordinance 2024-09.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Very good. This is the first of 3 agenda items this evening related to the John Purdue Block redevelopment project. We've had various items over the last couple of council meetings related to this project. This will be the last grouping of council approvals related to this. This particular ordinance is in order to facilitate the project, the First Street right-of-way that runs behind the existing buildings will need to be vacated. The vacated real estate, in addition to some city-owned parcels that are owned to the west of the right-of-way, have been offered for sale to the developers of that project through the Board of Works. Last week, we did open an offer for them, offering to purchase the real estate for the offering price of $2,500. Once the vacation is approved by council tonight, Board of Works tomorrow will accept that purchase offer, and that part of this project will be able to move forward.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll call?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Olsmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-10.
An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lafayette, Indiana, authorizing the issuance of one or more series of the City of Lafayette, Indiana taxable economic development lease rental revenue bonds, John Purdue Block Project, the lending of proceeds thereof to the Lafayette Urban Enterprise Association, Inc., the funding of a forgivable loan with certain ready funds to John Purdue Block Partners, LLC, and authorizing and approving other actions related thereto.
Mr. Clinker.
I move we hear ordinance 2024-10 on second reading.
Second?
Motion is second. Yes, sir. Mr. Auden, you got the
All
floor.
right. Yes, as Jackie mentioned, there are several items on the agenda tonight. It'll be the last set of approvals for the John Purdue project. I know it's been on your agenda for the last couple of months now. You've seen this a bunch of times. And this was introduced at your last council meeting. This is the actual bond ordinance that approves the issuance of the bonds not to exceed $12 million. Approves the forms of financing documents. I have copies of those with me if anyone wants to see them. And we've provided them to Jackie and Dennis Carson. And then we also, I mentioned this at the last meeting, this approves the issuance of $10 million of forgivable notes that would be funded from the READY program. And just by way of background, as a reminder, those would only be payable if the READY funds come in. They're forgivable. There's no city credit attached to those, so I want to mention that. And just for the record, as a backup, these bonds are going to be payable from a 95% pledge of tax increment from the project. And then the city, through this ordinance, through the next resolution, will be pledging general revenues to the lease payments as a backup to the TIF. And there's a special benefits tax back behind that. And the project agreement that you all approved back in February also provides that the developer will execute a taxpayer agreement that will be a lien on the project. So to the extent the tax increment, which is the first source of funds, is not sufficient, that taxpayer payment will kick in. They'll have an obligation to make that payment. So again, these backup sources are for marketing purposes. Happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public? Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll call?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Olsmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-11.
An ordinance for an additional appropriation in the general fund, number 1010, Fire Department, 010.
Mr. Reynolds.
Move to hear ordinance 2024-11.
Second?
Thank you. Mr. Deal.
Good evening, Jeremy Deal, City Controller. Ladies and gentlemen of council, this ordinance proposes authorization for the fire department to spend an additional $275,000 from the general fund. The additional appropriation is requested in a variety of counts in the exhibit attached. Those accounts I won't read through as I did the first reading, but they span personal services, supplies, other services and charges, and a capital outlay as well. The funds requested for expenditure equate to the sums that we've already received from Fairfield Township, being $200,000 and $75,000 from Perry Township. Those receipts or payments were made to the city in accordance with existing agreements between the city and the townships for provision of professional fire services to the unincorporated portions of those townships. The request represents no additional tax burden to the city taxpayers, and I respectfully ask for your approval of the appropriation request.
Thank you, Mr. Deal. Any comments or questions from the council? Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk, you conduct a roll.
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Olsmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-12.
An ordinance authorizing the acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping by the City of Lafayette, Indiana, of certain improvements and extension to the sewage works of the city. Authorizing the issuance and sale of segregation and distribution of revenues. Oh, I guess I missed a line. Sorry. But none of you knew it, did you? The issuance and sale of sewage works revenue bonds for such purpose, providing for the collection, segregation, and distribution of the revenues of the sewage works and safeguarding of the interests of the others of said works revenue bonds and other matters connected therewith, and repealing ordinances inconsistent herewith.
Ms. Chosnick. Thank you.
Did you have a, we need a, I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I move that we hear and approve ordinance 2024-12 on second reading.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and second.
All right, very good. As we discussed last month, there are two upcoming projects for Renew, the Service Area 11B project and the last phase of our CSO long-term control plan. Service Area 11B, if you recall, will include a new regional lift station, force mains, gravity sewers, and water mains. The new lift station will be able to serve 1,000 acres of undeveloped land with the capacity to ultimately serve 4,000 acres. Bowen Engineering was recently selected as a contractor for this build, operate, transfer project, and a kickoff meeting actually takes place tomorrow morning, and construction work is expected to commence this summer. On the long-term control plan, it's very exciting. We're finally entering the last phase of our long-term control plan. This phase includes the construction of a high-rate treatment facility adjacent to the plant. It increases the wet weather capacity of the Pearl River Lift Station and includes a new force main connection between the two. The high-rate treatment facility will provide physical and chemical treatment for the CSO during high-intensity, short-duration events. The project will also include electrical, chemical, and mechanical upgrades to ensure proper operation of the entire system. Construction is expected to commence in early 2025 with a 2026 completion date. The bond ordinance in front of you authorizes the issuance of sewage works revenue bonds in an amount up to $80 million to finance these two projects. Bond payments will come solely from the sewage works net revenues on parity with the other outstanding bonds. The bonds will be issued in two series to accommodate both projects. Series A will be issued towards the end of May or beginning of June and for the Service Area 11B funding, and the Series B bonds will be issued towards the end of the year for the CSO project. And this is the good news, and we can issue these bonds without a sewer rate increase. That was discussed last month, and that's primarily thanks to debt service reserves that will be falling off over the next couple of years for prior issued bonds. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Chosnick. Any comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public? Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on for ordinances for first reading. Ordinance 2024-13.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana, Uzo Amendment Number 108.
Ms. Williamson.
I move we hear and approve ordinance 2024-13.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. APC staff, in an effort to address the housing demands in our community, offered a proposal to create a matter of right zoning district for single-family attached townhomes. Currently, the only way to construct those projects is under the planned development process. The new proposed R1T zone provides minimum development standards for single-family attached townhomes up to 3 stories high on land where public water and sewer service is available. The ordinance also provides a 0 minimum parking standard option within the urbanized sewer areas to provide greater design flexibility for developers as they redevelop in those historic pedestrian transient-oriented neighborhoods. The APC did approve this ordinance with a 14 yes and 0 no vote. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the council? Any comments or questions from the public? Madam Clerk, would you conduct a roll call?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
All right, thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-14. Mr. Clinker.
An ordinance to amend the subdivision ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana, Uzo Amendment Number 13.
Mr. Clinker.
I move we hear ordinance 2024-14 on first reading.
Ms.
Second.
Murphy. Thank you.
All right, this is a companion ordinance to the prior ordinance and updates the unified subdivision ordinance to allow for the proper implementation of the new R1T zoning district.
All right, thank you. Any comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public?
Actually, quick question. Is this most likely in an urban setting? Is that the
Yes,
idea?
it has to be, the R1T zoning has to be applied where there's public water or sewer available, so it would be in an urban setting.
Okay. I mean, but like more like a downtown, near downtown is,
I have a feeling that you'll see these developments across the community. I'm not sure if they will be specifically limited to just the urban downtown area or not, but that the changes that they made to allow for the zero parking requirements were specifically with those dense urban areas in mind.
thank you.
Any more comments or questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you conduct a roll?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
All right, thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-15.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana to rezone certain real estate from R2U to PDRS 400 North 9th Street. Joshua P. Teal, petitioner.
Mr. Reynolds.
I move to hear ordinance 2024-18, or 15 on first reading.
Second?
Thank you. Petitioner.
Good evening, Kevin Riley with RTS Law, representing the petitioner. As mentioned, we are seeking a rezone from R2U to PDRS. The property that's the subject of the petition is located at the corner of North 9th Street and North Street across North Street from St. Boniface. The petitioner plans to convert the existing building into 4 residential units, so 2 one-bedroom, 1-bath units and 2 two-bedroom, 2-bath units. He will build a detached garage that has 4 stalls, so generally speaking, 1 for each unit. We decided to go with a PD as opposed to a rezone here to avoid having to get variances. Also, it gave the city more of an opportunity to provide some feedback on what this was going to look like as part of the PD process. So that's kind of the explanation as to why we went this direction. We think that the use and the proposed development is consistent with the neighborhood, and we received a recommendation of approval from APC staff. APC recommended approval by unanimous vote last month, and you will notice in the staff report there are some conditions, contingencies. Those are standard. We will comply with those. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments from the council? Questions or comments from the public? All right, Madam Clerk, we conduct a roll.
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss. Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-16.
An ordinance to amend ordinance 2023-46, an ordinance fixing the salaries of the appointed officers and employees of the city of Lafayette, Indiana for the year 2024, excluding the sworn protective occupation and law enforcement members of the police and fire departments.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. President, I move that we hear and approve ordinance 2024-16 on first reading.
Second?
Thank you. Counselor?
All right. We do have a salary ordinance amendment in front of you today that actually several different position changes across several different departments. The first one, I am very excited personally for this. We are adding 2 positions to the legal department. The first is a creation of a new staff attorney position to assist me. The staff attorney will focus on areas such as code enforcement, contract review, legal research, and ordinance drafting. The new position will be classified as an exec 1. The second position within the legal department is the creation of an administrative assistant position to provide administrative support to the department, which will help free up some of my time that I currently spend on administrative matters. This position will be classified as a COMA 3. I guess I'm going to stop before each one. Anybody have any questions on the legal department changes? If not, I'll move on to the next changes. These are changes within the police department. Currently, the homeless coordinator position is housed within the economic development department. This position it's currently a project planner position as it's named. It is going to be renamed to homeless and community outreach liaison and will be housed in the police department and work closely with the community advocate and resource navigator position that Adam Murphy will be moving into later this month. The second change, as it relates to the police department, is relation to our IDAX program. IDAX stands for the Indiana Data and Communications System. The current IDAX coordinator is retiring, and this provides an opportunity to make adjustments within that program. First, the existing IDAX technician position will be renamed IDAX Assistant Coordinator. That is so that the name of that position matches the terminology used by the IDAX program. And then we will be adding a second IDAX Assistant Coordinator position within the department to assist with data entry and day-to-day needs of the program. The second IDAX Assistant Coordinator position will assume some of the workload that is currently being performed by the IDAX Coordinator. The remaining statutory responsibilities of the IDAX Coordinator, which includes tasks such as ensuring validation reports are properly processed, ensuring all LPD users are utilizing the system, are aware of the rules and the policies. These duties will be assumed by the Chief Communications Technician. With the consolidation of duties, that position is going to be renamed to Communications Supervisor, and the classification of the position will change from a POL Civ to a SAM2. LPD feels confident this will not create an unreasonable burden on the communications supervisor because certain responsibilities currently being performed by the communications supervisor will be assumed by dispatch lead, shift leads. Any questions about that one? All right. Next one is a very exciting addition in the Economic Development Department, and that is the creation of a Climate and Resilience Manager position. This position will assist with the implementation of the Greater Lafayette Climate Action Plan, including energy and sustainability programs across all city departments and the community. This new position will be classified as a PAT 4. And then finally, this salary ordinance amendment adds one additional truck driver within the motor vehicle department, which will allow an employee who recently received their CDL to move from a laborer position to a truck driver position. Ultimately, the goal of the motor vehicle department is to eliminate all laborer positions in favor of truck driver positions. And that is all of the salary ordinance changes. So happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for that. Go ahead.
What are the fiscal impacts on this?
So there should not be any with respect to, for example, the IDAX position. The numbers all still with the allocation of duties and the changes, they all end up being kind of a net change. The Climate and Resiliency Manager position was already built into the budget for this year, but did not have the actual position created. The legal department is, because we are adding 2 new employees, that is a bit of an additional expense. We are working through exactly what that needs to be. The staff attorney position is not likely to be actually officially hired on until later in the year.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you conduct a roll?
Blinker?
Aye.
Nargi? Aye. Reynolds?
Aye.
Weiss?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Downing?
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2024-17.
An ordinance vacation a portion of Maiden Lane in the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
Ms. Williamson.
I move we hear and approve ordinance 2024-17.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. This is an ordinance to vacate Maiden Lane, which you've probably never heard of because it was never actually improved as right-of-way. This is related to the railroad corridor redevelopment project. If you recall, late last year, we did sell the old railroad corridor between 3rd and 5th Street to Corridor Place LLC, who is going to be developing that into residential housing. As they were preparing to file their filings with the APC, it was discovered that the vacation of this Maiden Lane had not yet taken place. So we are here to clean that up. Again, it's unimproved right-of-way. One half will go to the Corridor Place real estate. The other half will go to the adjoining property owners on the north side of that lot.
All right, very good. Any comments or questions from the council?
So this vacation, because it's never been approved, no compensation on that?
That is correct. And if you recall, this was a city-facilitated redevelopment project as well, so.
Okay.
Very nice. Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll call?
Blinker?
Aye.
Nargi? Aye. Reynolds?
Aye.
Weiss?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Downing?
Aye.
Ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. This ordinance will require a public hearing set for May 6, 6:01 p.m. Can I get a motion
So
for that?
moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, moving on to resolutions. Resolutions 2024-14.
A resolution confirming the designation of certain real estate as an economic revitalization area and approval of an application for property tax abatement, Kreger LLC, LH Industrial Supplies Real Estate.
Thank you. Mr. Carson?
We need to get a,
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Carson. Been a long couple days. Mr. Downey?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there
Here and approve Resolution 2024-14.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Carson?
Yes, good evening. This is Carson, Economic Development Director. The details of this abatement request were handled and detailed at our last council meeting, so I'm here to answer any questions.
Do we have any comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, hearing none, Madam Clerk, we conduct a roll.
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 8-0.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Resolution 2024-15.
A resolution of the City of Lafayette, Indiana, approving and authorizing execution of a lease among the Lafayette Urban Enterprise Association as lessor and the City of Lafayette Redevelopment Commission and the John Purdue Block Partners, LLC, as lessees, and pledging general revenues of the city to the City of Lafayette Redevelopment Commission for the payment of lease rentals under such lease.
Mr. Reynolds?
Move to hear on Resolution 2024-15.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Oden, good to see you again, sir.
Yes, good to see you all again. This is the last resolution we have with respect to the John Purdue project, and I really kind of covered this most in my discussion earlier on the bond ordinance, but this resolution approves the form of the lease agreement for this that is really the source of the financing. And as I mentioned, the lease payments will be payable from TIF, general revenues, and a property tax backup, and then also property tax payments under the taxpayer agreement. But by statute, when the Redevelopment Commission enters into a lease financing such as this, the council has to approve it as well. The maximum annual rental is not to exceed 1.2 million, 25-year lease term, and then this does affirm the pledges. But with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions for Mr. Oden? Any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you conduct a roll?
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 8-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to Resolution 2024-16.
A resolution to transfer appropriation between major budget classification.
Mr. Brown?
Mr. President, I move that we hear and approve Resolution 2024-16.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Deal?
Good evening again. Jeremy Deal, City Controller. Ladies and gentlemen of council, this resolution, 2024-16, proposes several final adjustments to the 2023 budget. Exhibit A to the resolution lists several transfers of appropriated amounts from one specific account to the other. All requested amendments are within the same fund, and these transfers result in no net change to the budget. The transfers are necessary to align our final budget with our final posted expenses in aggregate per major budget category. I respectfully ask that you approve this resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Deal. Any comments or questions from the council? Comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, conduct a roll call, please.
Blinker.
Aye.
Nargi. Aye. Reynolds.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 8-0.
Thank you. Reports of standing committees. Seeing none, reports of special committees. Seeing none, reports by the mayor.
Nope.
Miscellaneous and new business. Reports of councilmen and women.
Good luck to the
Public
boilers.
comment.
Good luck, boilers.
Good luck, boilers. All right. Yep. Public comment. Is there any public comment?
Lloyd Wells, 3717 Rawlings Drive. I'm here to ask for you to think about something. I don't think you have the power to do this, but I believe you are an influential group among the community, and I think your influence can have a bearing on it. But I don't know if you realize it or not, but retired persons in this, well, in all cities, have no way of adjusting their income. And the inflation that's been going on in the last 3 years just puts a tremendous strain on everybody. We're paying twice as much or almost twice as much for gasoline. We're paying 40% more for groceries. We're paying 17% more for real estate taxes. Our assessment on our property, my property was, 3 years ago, was assessed at $124,000. Today, it's assessed at $237,000. Now, that's a little bit unreasonable, especially since retired people who have their homes paid for, by the way, can be priced out of them simply because taxes are going up at a rate that are just no way for retired people to adjust to them. So I would ask that you consider that when talking with other people about the need for putting a cap on real estate taxes for people that are retired. It is just getting to be a burden that is just absolutely unreasonable, and it's unconscionable to think a person can be taxed out of their home that's paid for. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments? Any other public comment? Seeing none and hearing none, Mr. Clinker?
Move for adjournment.
Second?
Ms. Nargi? All in